We are very, very excited and honored to have all of you joining us this evening in Green Stadium. Tonight is a significant night in the history of our athletic program. And I want to begin by thanking three members of our institutional board of trustees who are here with us tonight, Dr. Linda Latimer, Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey, and Nathan Farner. Thank you for what you do to help make this institution move, and thank you for your commitment to the mission of this university. But I also want to take a few moments to thank our athletic director, Mr. Scott Carter. Less than 3 weeks ago, Coach Torbush came to us and talked about his path and future at the university. And since that point, Scott has run a textbook search. From beginning to end, he's done his homework, he's done his due diligence, and I cannot say enough to say thank you to Scott for all that he has done to bring this to tonight. And Scott, it's as if you've been athletic director 30 years, not 3 months. Yesterday, we celebrated commencement on the campus of ETSU. More than 1,327 graduates walked across the stage and received their degree. One graduate, Ms. Joanne Butcher, is 87 years old, exemplifies the mission of this institution, a mission of making a difference in the lives of the people of the region. Every single one of you are a part of that mission. But at the close of commencement yesterday, I had a little bit of fun. I said, children all across this room today are looking forward to seeing Santa Claus. Children at heart are looking forward to seeing Luke Skywalker. I was looking forward to seeing Randy Sanders. So it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium the individual who made my Christmas dream come true, our athletic director, Mr. Scott Carter.
Well, I may start with a brief story about yesterday. As we were headed to Elizabethton to go on to Tallahassee and visit with Coach and his family, which is a day I'll never forget and really, really enjoy that. It started with the president being just a little bit delayed because of those 1,443, was it? Hands that were shaken during commencement, which is very, very special at our university. So I called Coach when we landed. We were just a little bit late. I told him, I said, you know, we've had an incredibly busy day, but we're so excited. Coach is shaking the hands of 1,443 people. He says, well, I hope he's going to look forward to shake one more hand today. So, which we did. And I'll tell a couple stories as we go along with this. But I really just want to speak for a moment and then get out of the way, because I do want to thank Dr. Nolan. This has been a pleasure to work on this with you. Thank you for bringing me here to live out a dream, working for you at this institution that I love so much. Our Board of Trustees, those of you that are in attendance today, I'm going to ask your help with something in just a moment, but thank you all for making this institution the best it has ever been. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We are so excited about where we are today, but we're more excited about tomorrow. I'm going to look at you about that one. That's exciting. I'd like to thank Coach Carl Torbush and our football staff for the foundation that they have laid to prepare for our future. I'd like to thank all of our donors. Mr. Green, thank you for this gorgeous stadium and so many people that joined you in making this happen. What a special place. There's the moments we've shared in here in a matter of about 10 days have been outstanding. And the celebratory day for Coach Torbush, and now another wonderful celebration. I'm going to tell you, as grand as those have been, there's not going to be anything more important than down the road celebrating some championships in this green stadium. That's going to happen soon with this man's leadership. I want to talk to you a little bit about just reinforcing what we talked about on December 8th. Character and integrity. We talked about that as the pillars of what this foundation and the program has been built on. I thank Coach Torbush for that. That was the #1 thing we were looking for in our next head football coach. The next thing with that is someone that's going to bring us championships. A winner. I want to tell you a couple things real quick. This man's won 2 national championships. He's won 12 conference or division titles. In 29 years of coaching, he's been to 26 bowl games. 26. I asked him about Christmas the other night, and he said, you know, wherever we go. 26 years, Christmas with his family has been at some exotic destination. His record over those years, 258, 105, and 2, .704 winning percentage. He's coached 2 Heisman Trophy finalists. Both of them were #1 draft picks in the NFL. Now, as you can see from me, I like to eat. Thank you for those cookies that we got to enjoy at your dining room table last night. There are so many memories that the last few weeks have carried us through, so many memories that are up to this point. But I can tell you right now, the thing I am most excited about the memories that are going to be in our future, because this man's a winner. I'd like everybody to get on your feet and help me welcome the next coach of Buccaneer football, Randy Sanders. Before you get started, we're going to wrap it up just a little bit, all right? Okay, but before I totally give it over to him, Coach, we got a couple things for you here. You are our 18th football coach. Perfect. So with that, Dr. Nolan, if you don't mind coming up here with me, and our Board of Trustees members that are here, Lieutenant Governor Ramsey, Nathan Farner, and Dr. Latimer, if you don't mind, Joanne, would you provide them some special things that we have for Kathy, Kelly, and Carrie? Yeah, we get in the middle, Coach. Come right up here. We got this. Come right up here with Coach.
Okay.
Come right up here with Coach.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Head coach Randy Sanders, his wife Kathy, Kelly, and Carrie. Give them a hand. Now, Coach, we'll turn it over to you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Tell you what, with an introduction like that, it's hard to live up to expectation a little bit. You were talking about you were looking forward to meeting me, Dr. Nolan. I was really looking forward to meeting you. And as Scott said, I want to thank Dr. Nolan. I want to thank Scott. Mr. Green, everything that's gone into this process. This process has been a whirlwind. You can't imagine how excited I am to be here. As excited as I am, seeing their excitement and their passion for this job only energizes you. And I can't wait to get to work. Really can't wait to get to work. Scott mentioned I've been to 26 bowl games out of 29 years. Had 3 years I didn't go to a bowl game. The ironic thing is 2 of those years I had to move. You know? So it's nice to move by choice. So I'm excited about that. But their passion, their commitment, that really closed the deal. I've shared a lot of stories. I don't want to get into too much detail, but this was a job I wanted. This was a job, when you started football back a few years ago, Coach Fulmer was very involved. He calls me on a Monday. Says, hey, are you interested in the East Tennessee State job? I was like, Philip, why didn't you call me Thursday? Because the Friday before I had taken a job at Florida State, and I couldn't tell them I was coming and then turn around and leave. But had I had the opportunity then, I would have been here 5 years ago. I promise you. That's what I feel about this place. People talk a lot about being back home. And it is nice to be back home. I've got, you met my wife and daughters. I've got a sister and her husband who drove up from Morristown. My brother Wayne, Angela, and my sister's Barbara and her husband's Wesley. They drove up to be here. It's nice. It's very nice. But I can also tell you if this job was 1,000 miles from where I grew up, I would still want to be here. I have that kind of excitement about it, have that kind of passion. And you have to excuse me. I've never done this. I've never taken a press conference for be a head coach. So if I get a little emotional, excuse me. But it's nice to be back home, but that's not why I'm here. I want to be your head coach. I want to get a chance to meet each and every one of you in here, get to know you. The wins and losses, they will come if you work. I do believe that. It takes work. It takes commitment. It takes a time commitment. It takes financial commitment. We all know that. We wouldn't be here if we hadn't committed finances to it. If we're going to keep improving, we got to keep committing. That's just the nature of the beast. But I'm going to be working my butt off. I can promise you that. I shared with Scott this morning, a lot of people talk about the little things in football. And this may tell you a little bit about myself. The little things. Well, I don't believe there's little things. There's purely details. And if you don't take care of details, details become big things. So that's kind of the way I try to live my life. I'm a detail-oriented guy. I try to do things right. I try to pay attention to the way things are done. I expect them to be done certain ways. I'm going to be expecting that from our staff, be expecting that from our players, because I know you guys are going to be expecting that from us. I also want to thank Coach Torbush and his staff. What they've done is phenomenal. They've laid a great foundation for ETSU football. I'm looking forward to building on that foundation. But what they've done is phenomenal. Good men, they've done a great job. Good football coaches. What we will do as a staff, we're still trying to figure that out. And I've tried to be as direct and honest with them as I could be. I told them, I believe, say what you mean what you say. And I don't want them to wonder if they're getting the truth from me. So our staff, we'll figure that out. But really looking forward to what the future holds, looking forward to a lot of wins, looking forward to a lot of celebrations, looking forward to getting to know everyone in this room. And you can imagine, again, how excited I am. I appreciate the opportunity, and go Bucks. Thank you.
Media will have one-on-ones in just a moment. Actually, we'll go ahead and do a couple here. If anybody in the media, Coach Sanders is here, have a couple questions. Take them at this time.
Does it have to just be media, or can anyone ask questions?
Anyone can. Well, but media's got one.
Yeah, we'll let the media go first, of course.
How quickly can we expect you to put a staff together? I know you got a lot going on right now.
Well, there's a few things going on, yes, but we're going to try to do it as quickly as we can. You know, what the staff has done in the last couple of weeks since Coach Torbush announced his retirement, to me is amazing. I got a chance to meet with 4 young men today that were here on official visits. And fortunately, I was able to get here in time to do that. But we're going to try to put a staff together as quickly as possible. We need to do that. We need to do that as a university. We need to do that as a program. But the staff that was here, they need answers too. I told them when I met with them, I said, guys, I know your situation because 2 weeks ago, I'm sitting there and my head coach leaves and I'm not told anything. You know, so I want to give you guys answers as quickly as possible. I understand the situation they're in. At the same time, I want to get the very best staff that I can put together to accomplish what, number one, we want to accomplish as a program, number two, what I want to accomplish as the head coach.
Do you know if anyone on the current staff, are you going to keep any of them? Is there anybody, the name that you...
Again, no decisions have been made either way at this point.
You had such prolific offense at Florida State, particularly the year when you guys won the national championship. What type of offense can we expect to see here, like what you guys will be running? Well,
if I can get a quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy and be the first pick of the draft, and get a first-round pick at receiver, and you know, I want to be exciting. Okay, now, one thing I've learned through the years, 29 years, if you score touchdowns, you're exciting. Whether you line up and you run it or you throw it, if you score touchdowns, you're exciting. Obviously, I want to score touchdowns. I'm an offensive guy. I've got to look at our personnel, see exactly where we are. I know what I would like to do, but it doesn't matter what I want to do. And what matters is what our players can do. So I got to get out there and get with them. We'll have a plan. We'll put together a plan. We will recruit to our plan. But until those guys get here, I got to do what our guys do best. And so we're gonna take what they do best and build on it. It's a good question, by the way.
Coach Sanders, have you thought about how ironic it is when you lead the Bucks onto the field at Neyland Stadium that you'll be on the field and Phil Fulmer will be there as well?
Actually, I hadn't thought about the fact that Coach Fulmer will be there. Tremendous amount of respect for Coach Fulmer, you know, as a football coach and as a man, and what he's meant to me. You know, I've been back to Neyland Stadium to play a few times when I was at Kentucky. I never won at Neyland Stadium while at Kentucky, so I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to do that. Now I'm not making any predictions, okay? But that would be great. That would be great. Anything else?
Like I said, we'll have one-on-ones in a moment. I think that wraps us up.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
What about this makes it so special that you wanted to be at no matter what the circumstances were?
Well, you know, I grew up in Morristown. There's a lot of East Tennessee State graduates in Morristown. And I grew up with a lot of people that came to school here or had gone to school here, and they always just had a lot of pride. They had a lot of pride in your university. I've always thought it was a beautiful part of the country. I've always thought it was a great city. I've always thought the fans were very loyal, and it's, for whatever reason, it's always had an appeal to me. You know, I think what we can do here is exciting. We got a lot of work to do, but I'm excited about it and ready to go to work.
Well, what is the appeal of an FCS head coaching job over an FCS offensive coordinator job? If you would have taken this job 5 years ago instead of Florida State's OC, what is the appeal of the head coach FBS job over a prestigious offensive coordinator at an FCS school?
Well, that's a great question. Number one, I've never done it. Number two, I've always wanted to be a head coach. I've always wanted to kind of run the program the way I thought things should be done. If I want to go out and practice for 2 hours in pads, we can put on pads and go practice for 2 hours. Or if I want to go out and practice for an hour and a half in shorts, we can do that. I like having the ability to make those decisions. I'm looking forward to putting together a staff. Also, I'm looking forward to just coaching football. You know, and don't get me wrong, Florida State was a great place. Tennessee is a great place, and some of those Power 5 schools are great places. But there's a certain just purity of coaching football that has been lost. There's so many things going on and so many other things that require your attention that you lose a little bit of just the purity of playing football and coaching football.
Well, another thing is that you mentioned that even if this was 1,000 miles away from your hometown, you'd still like this job. ETSU, I think it's 47 years, 3 seasons of 7 or more victories. So why is a traditional loser this great job?
Well, what other people think about it does not matter to me. Other people's opinion. It's always been a job that I thought was a gold mine in waiting. I think it has unlimited potential. Once I got around Dr. Nolan and Scott Carter and saw their commitment, their passion, it just made me that much more energized to do it. So I'm just excited to be here. I think we can accomplish great things, and I'm looking forward to going to work.
We saw some excitement from some of the players on social media today. What was your message to them when you got to see them today?
Well, obviously, I just got to see a few of the ones that were local and just got to talk to a few others. And I just told them, I said, guys, I want to be here. I hope you know that. I'm excited about what we can accomplish. We're going to work hard. So we're going to sweat together. I'm not going to ask you to do anything I wouldn't do or haven't done before. We're going to have a good time playing, and we're going to go out and win. You know, we're going to try to attract good players. We're going to attract good coaches, and go about trying to win championships, because that's our goal.
Coach, what has the last 24 hours been like, going from where you were yesterday to this moment right now?
Well, it's been pretty hectic. You know, obviously, I had dinner last night with Dr. Nolan and with Scott. So somehow or another, as soon as we left the restaurant, it seems like the story broke. And the story broke before any decisions had completely been made. I think possibly on their part. My decision was made, but I don't know if it had been made on their part. But dealing with them has been a pleasure. You know, agreeing to do this, getting excited about it, trying to answer the 200 or so text messages that I've gotten. I don't know how many phone calls, how many emails, but that part's been very busy. And then, you know, getting up here today, getting a chance to, you know, meet with some of the players, meet with the staff, got a chance to talk to some of the recruits. You know, makes you realize how much work we have to do, but also how much work has already been done. So it's been whirlwind, but you know, I'll sleep well tonight, but I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and get busy.
Coach Torbush always said that the Southern Conference was the SEC of the FCS level. From the outside, what are your opinions on the Southern Conference, and what do you think about the type of football that's playing in that conference?
Well, I agree with him. I think Southern Conference has been absolutely phenomenal. You just look back at the history of the league. A lot of good teams, a lot of really good coaches. It's a very competitive league. We're playing against and competing for championships against teams that's been doing it successfully for a number of years. We're getting ready to start year number 4 next year. So we're still in the building process, but I think we have the pieces in place. We have the resources. We just got to go keep building on the foundation that Coach Torbush and his staff laid. And I see no reason why we can't compete for championships in this league in the near future.
Oh, you talk about recruits. How about some of the current players? How much have you got a chance to evaluate those guys so far?
Very little. Not near as much as I would like to. Once the whole thing kind of started, I got a chance to, I had about 30 minutes one day, and I pulled up a game on video from what we had at Florida State, because we pretty much get a library of all the games, and got a chance to watch it. Was impressed with what I saw, was impressed with how hard the guys played. I honestly, at this point, I can't remember which game it was, but was impressed with the effort the guys played at, and I watched the first half. So, we got to evaluate the players and see what they do well. It's not like we can put them on the waiver wire or go trade and get new ones. They're ours. We're going to coach them. We're going to try to make them the best we can be, but we're also going to try to continue recruiting and bringing in new talent.
And on that note, you got a veteran quarterback coming back. So what have you seen with Austin? I'm sure he probably stood out on tape.
Well, sure. Austin's a good player. It's always nice to have some veteran leadership there. My wife likes him because he's from her hometown, same high school. So I'm looking forward to getting to know him better. Looking forward to getting a chance to work with him, but looking forward to getting a chance to work with all these young men. The one sentiment I keep hearing from the assistant coaches, from Coach Torbush, from everyone around, is what good young men these guys are. And they are young men. Doesn't mean there's not mistakes going to happen at some point. But I'm looking forward to getting to know them and working with them.
Coach, what's your plan for the upcoming bowl? I know Florida State still has to play. You're going to still coach in Florida State, or are you coming right to ETSU?
Well, that's a great question. I'm going to try to do as much as I can at East Tennessee State while I'm here. I do have to go back tomorrow. And when I told the quarterbacks what I was doing, a couple of them said, Coach, is there any way you can coach us through the game? The university closes in a couple of days, so there's not a whole lot that we can do. We're in a dead period in recruiting starting tomorrow, so there's not a whole lot. But all that being said, I do plan on coaching Florida State through the bowl game, but I also plan on burning the phones up, talking to recruits, trying to put a staff together, trying to get things prepared so that once we get through the bowl game, we can hit the ground running.
Is there a difference between the early signing date at an FCS school and an FBS school?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know if there's any difference in the importance, but it's a hard question to answer because it's the first one. So I think after we experience it for a year or 2 or 3 or 4, then I'll be able to answer that question. And I don't think anybody really knows.
Thank you. We're good, Mark.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.